Hello friends, in this video I'm going to cover the latest provisions from the American Rescue Plan Act. This is a 1.9 trillion stimulus plan passed by the president on March 11, 2021. There are so many tax provisions from this act and it benefits small businesses, individuals and other industries. But our focus here today in this video is the four major provisions that benefits individual taxpayers. My name is Jayanti Ganapati. I'm the owner of FinAccurate. We are an accounting firm based in Boston, Massachusetts. Let's get to the topic. I'm going to share my screen and go through the provisions that benefits individual taxpayers only in this video. So let's get to it. The very first one is the recovery rebate to individual plans, individual taxpayers. You might already be familiar with the stimulus check. You would have already received your first round of stimulus check, second round of stimulus check in 2020. This is actually the second half of the second stimulus check that you received in end of December. Again, based on eligibility, based on your income criteria. It's not available for every individual taxpayers. It is dependent on your adjusted gross income that you report in your income tax return. So this stimulus check is a $1,400 per individual. If you're filing joint return, it's $2,800 for a joint return, and if you have dependents, it is $1,400 for each dependent that you claim in your tax return. This is a huge amount. The first round was like $1,200, and for dependents it was only $500. And the second round it was $600 for everyone, including dependents. But this is the largest amount the stimulus check we received so far. So this started going out the weekend of March 15th for most of the individual taxpayers, and it is the stimulus check is calculated based on the adjusted gross income that you report in your income tax return. If you already filed your 2020, IRS will be basing your stimulus check calculation based on your 2020. If you haven't filed your 2020 tax return, they're going to base it off of your 2019 tax return. If you already filed, but it's in the process of being processed by IRS, then they may not be able to see it. They will still go by 2019. So just make sure, depending on where your filing is for 2020, you will know how you will be eligible. The reason why that's important is the stimulus check is based on the adjusted gross income that you reported. So for individuals, if you had an adjusted gross income of $75,000 and under, then you will get the full stimulus check. But if your AGI, adjusted gross income, was between $75,000 and $80,000, then you're going to get a partial rebate check, and if it was more than $80,000, you are not eligible to get any stimulus check from the government, and that's for individual taxpayers. So if the individual taxpayers who are filing as single, but if you're filing as a joint return, then the income range is, if your adjusted gross income is up to $150,000, you get the full stimulus check. But between 150 and 160, you get partial, and if it's above 160,000, you don't get any stimulus check. And if you're filing as a head of household, then the range is under 112,500, you get the full check, and between 112,500 and 120,000, you get partial. They haven't explained what partial means. It's nowhere in the act. Maybe it will be cleared out a little later, because it's very recent and we don't know exactly how we are calculating the partial. But over 120,000 for a head of household, they don't get any stimulus checks. So in this stimulus check, who are not eligible to receive rebate are any non-resident alien individuals, any individual who is a dependent of another the taxpayer, for a taxable year beginning in the calendar in which the individual taxpayer tax year begins. And also, it's not eligible for a trust or an estate. So those filing statuses are excluded from the stimulus check. So as long as you're an individual taxpayer, either filing single, joint, or reporting dependents, you based on your income range, you'll be getting $1,400, and the check started going out from the weekend of March 15th. When you filed your tax return, if you already provided your bank information, the IRS already have your banking information, so you will automatically receive a direct deposit in your bank account. So there's nothing needed. You don't have to take any action. You don't have to submit any forms or anything. It's automatic. If you e-file your tax return and you provided your bank account information, you are going to get it deposited automatically into your bank account. Isn't that a nice thing? Have you ever, we are always used to paying to the IRS, and only if we overpaid, we get a refund. There was never ever a situation where we get free money from the government. And another sweet part to this is this rebate check is fully non-taxable. So it's 100% free money that you're getting from the government. And there's no action needed from your side. And so what else can the government do? So that's that. And if you paper filed, then go and provided your bank information, then you can still get your refund deposited in your bank account. If you paper file and mail the check in, then you are going to get this rebate in the form of a paper check from IRS as well. So it's based on how you file your tax return. That's the exact mode of you receiving this rebate check as well. And if you received rebate checks in the past, you will know how you received it. And if you want to check your status of when you're going to get it, you can always go to the IRS website, and there is an option called to check the status of your stimulus check, get my payment. And then you can go log in, and you can put in your social security, your date of birth and address, and you can check where you are in the process of receiving it. And in case if you never received it and you think you are eligible, the last option is when you file your tax return for 2021, that will be next year, you can always claim this recovery rebate when you file your tax return and can get your refund. We are doing this for our some of our clients for 2020 who did not receive their first round of stimulus check, and the second round we are claiming the recovery rebate when we file their tax return. So this is everything you need to know about the recovery rebates for 2020 and also 2021. So that's the one from the American Rescue Plan. The second benefit to individual taxpayer is the child tax credit improvements. It's this is for year 2021, which is this year, and the credit from this act is fully refundable, and it includes dependents under 17 years and under. The credit amount previously you might already know, or when you file your tax return, you can claim $2,000 as a child tax credit based on your income range. Again, it's a calculation when you file your tax return. It was $2,000, but the American Rescue Plan Act increased the child tax credit from $2,000 to $3,600 if your kids are under 6 years. If your kids are in the ages between 6 and 17, the credit is now increased from $2,000 to $3,000. Again, this is not for every individual taxpayer. This is it is based on the adjusted gross income that you report in your tax return. So up to $150,000 in case of joint filers, $112,500 in case you're reporting as the head of household, and individuals in any other case, it's a limit of $75,000. If your income is above this limit, then you are not going to get this child tax credit. And the sweet part about this, it's you can also get an advance of this child tax credit, and it's 50% of the credit can be received as an advance still in 2021 in the form of a monthly check. You don't have to wait until filing your 2021 tax return in next year to get this return. There's an option to get 50% of this credit in the form of an advance from the government. The payments will be based on the most recent filed tax returns. We don't have the details yet on how to apply and go for this advance credit, but once we have the information, I'll be sure to share in another video. So that's on the child tax credit. The next is the earned income tax credit. Again, this is also for year 2021. So when you file your 2021 taxes in 2022, is when you can take advantage of this earned income tax credit. So the special rules for individuals with no qualifying children, applicable minimum age is 25. And this is also something when you file your tax return based on where your adjusted gross income levels, and it's a calculation, it's a special form where it will, based on your income levels, it will calculate how much earned income tax credit you are eligible for. So normally this act, what has happened is the credit and phase out percentages are now 7.65% instead of 15.3%. So they reduce the limits to calculate the eligibility for this credit to 7.6% instead of 15.3%. And also they have disqualified investment income test is now at $10,000 instead of $2,200. So another provision, sweet provisions from this act is for 2021, when you file your tax return, to calculate the earned income tax credit, the taxpayers have an option to substitute their 2019 earned income instead of the 2021 earned income if they think their 2021 earned income is less than 2019 earned income. That's because of COVID and reduction in your income. So if your 2019 income levels were higher than 2021 because of COVID, or in this case, they don't go by any reason. So it doesn't have to be COVID related. But generally, if your income is in 2021 is less than 2019, then you have the option to go with the 2019 income to calculate the earned income tax credit, which will result in a higher earned income tax credit. So they have made this option possible in 2021. This was never the case before. So these are some things to keep in mind. When you file your tax return, make sure this is not something straightforward for you to understand, but when you work with the tax preparer, or if you're doing this in a software, make sure this is calculated correctly. So the next one is the dependent care assistance. There's a big change in this one, and it benefits many individual taxpayers. So this credit also is only for year 2021 as of now. So the amount of expenses eligible for the credit has significantly increased from the dependent care assistance used to be $3,000 in 2020 for one child, and they've increased that to $8,000 for one child and dependent. And if you have two or more children, the dependent care assistance increased from $6,000 to $16,000. So they almost doubled. In the case of one, it's $3,000 to $8,000, more than double, 150%. And then in case of two or more children, you used to be able to get only $6,000. Now you can get $16,000 for 2021. This is like a tremendous benefit, and this is going to benefit many small individual income earners who are in an income range of 150,000 or less. So the applicable percentage is increased from 35 to 50%, and the phase out starts at 125,000 instead of the 150,000 from years before. So another important thing from here, which is notable for employers, the small business owners, is if your employer is providing dependent care benefit, then so the employer provided dependent care assistance limitation And again, this is only for 2021. Previously, the employer care assistance is only tax free up to $5,000. Now they have increased the $5,000 to $10,500. So this is going to benefit 50% of a taxpayer's filing, married separate. This is a huge change as well, and this is going to benefit the employer and also the employee. Now the employers can get more tax deduction when they provide this benefit to their employees. They can get $10,500 in deduction instead of the $5,000. So that's more than double the deduction they used to get. And now the employees get this benefit which is tax free. So it benefits both employer and the employee as well. This is huge from the American Rescue Plan Act. This is another one for those who received unemployment assistance in 2020. So this is for 2020 and also 2021 because unemployment assistance is still there in 2021. So in 2020, due to pandemic or any other reason, if you received unemployment, previously all your unemployment income are taxable. But through the American Rescue Plan Act, if you received unemployment income up to $10,200, it is not taxable. So they've excluded up to $10,200 from your taxes for both year 2020 and also 2021. This is a major change. I know some have already filed their tax return for 2020. Now you have to and you might have already included this as an income and paid the taxes on it already. Now, if you did that, you have to go back and amend your tax return. But we are waiting for further instruction on how to exactly amend, and IRS is requesting everyone not to rush to file an amendment. They are looking to see if there is an easiest way for taxpayers to make this change in their tax return. Maybe they will release like a one-page form or something which you can fill out to claim this difference. But hold off on amending right now. But this is a huge benefit for those who received unemployment in 2020 and who are already receiving or will continue to receive in 2021. You can exclude $10,200. Again, this exclusion is only for the taxpayers whose adjusted gross income on the tax return is less than $150,000. So if you are making more than $150,000 annually, then you cannot take advantage of this provision. Whatever unemployment income you received, all of it will be taxed in year 2020 and also 2021. Even in both years, if you are over $150,000. And this American Rescue Plan Act also helped increase the $300 per week payment or if you would have received $1,200 per month. This is now extended all the way to September 6, 2021. So those are some changes to keep in mind, and this is a big one because of this is also one of the reasons day before yesterday. There was IRS announced the tax deadline for individual taxpayer is now shifted from April 15th to May 17th. So you get an additional 1 month to file and pay your taxes for year 2020. And the last one which benefits individual taxpayer is the premium tax credit. Again, this is not something very straightforward. This is when you file a tax return, how the premium tax credit is calculated based on your income. So the change here is temporary changes in the percentages for 2021 and also 2020. So in this page here, I show you how the percentages changes for based on your income ranges and what is current and what is changing now. So for each layer, they've increased the percentages 0 to 2%, 2 to 4%, 4 to 6, and 6 to 8.5, and 8.5 to 8.55%. So this is something where this is one of those that when you work sit down with your tax preparer, make sure they are reflecting all of these changes in your tax return. If you're using a software or the tax preparer is using a software, that it's going to automatically calculate it by, I think this is for 2021 and 2022. So the provision is already there. By the time you go to file your 2021, all of this is going to be updated in the tax software and it's going to be available for you. But it's just for your knowledge to know that you might be getting additional refunds, or if you or you'll be paying less. If you owe taxes, you'll be paying less because of the premium tax credit changes. So that is all the benefits from the American Rescue Plan Act, which directly benefits individual taxpayers. So thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be releasing more videos based on the latest provision and how it benefits individual taxpayers. If you're also a small business owner, I'll be doing another video exclusively for small business owners, the provisions from the American Rescue Plan Act, which directly benefits small businesses. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can watch my future videos. Please make sure to press the bell icon so you will be notified when we have new videos produced, so you can watch them right away. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.